Now, I was telling people on the other episode that this Reverend Dr. Ukpai that everybody is hailing and calling a true man of God is not really a true man of God.
I ran into Superintendent of the Assemblies of God in Owerri, and I said, "Sir, come. Can you please slow down? This work is not your mother's work, it's God's work. Cast some demons in Owerri, leave some for me. Or else." Do you know, 5 days after he died, I asked the pastor to release those pastors. He said, "My friend, I don't know who you are. You don't have rights to tell me what to do." He said, "I don't care." And I said, "You will care because you will pay." You know, in 2 weeks he died. This my brother said to me, "If I don't kill you, I will not rest. They treat you like the first son. You are number 5. You must surely die." They begged me, and I said, no. A man's enemy's enemy is his friend. If you want to kill me and somebody wants to kill you, that person is my friend. This my brother died within minutes. They can't go with my name to native doctor shrine and come out alive and leave. They went with my name. On their way out, the leader died. 2 days after, the native doctor died. 7 days after, the native doctor's assistants all died. In my village, the story now is Umar kills his enemies, the native doctors, and the native doctor's assistants. I like that name and the title. Why are you talking to me this way? He said, "You will do nothing." And I said, "Okay, hear me. In 7 days' time, they will pour petrol on you at the village square." 6 days after, a prominent woman from my village died. They were told that this my friend killed their mother. They bought petrol, stopped him at the village square, emptied that gallon of petrol on him, and set him on fire. My wife said to me, "Whenever people provoke you to anger, can you just shut up your mouth?" I was here in Port Harcourt, how many weeks ago? 3. A man was shouting my name. That Omar does not go about preaching, he goes about collecting money. You know, thunder came from nowhere and blew off his head from his body. They kept asking me if I knew anything about it. No, the better story is which one? I was in the Kenafa preaching. The place I stood, somebody buried juju there. I stood on that juju and prayed for 3 days. Then on Monday, we left. A dog came from heaven, went to where they buried the juju, brought out the juju, took it to the man who brought that juju and buried it. Knocked at his door, a dog. As he opened the door and saw the dog and the juju, he collapsed and died. Young man in my village used to say to me, "Omar, every time you sing to Araya Mighty, because the treasurer told you good money has come in." He left for Canada. Do you know? And lost his memory in Canada. Removed his trousers, his shirts, and walked into the city of Canada, and arrested him for coming into that town naked. As I speak, he's dead. Can you believe I had a rector? I called him one day and said, "My brother, every time I dream, I see you stealing money. And total amount you have collected is 1,300,000. Can you bring the money back?" He said, "No, I did not steal it. I only borrowed it." If you borrowed it, about this time tomorrow, you are going to go mental. I'm not a regular human being. You know, as I speak, he's not a madman.
Now, I was telling people on the other episode that this Reverend Dr. Ukpai that everybody is hailing and calling a true man of God is not really a true man of God.
I met the man who killed my father, and I said to him, "Daddy, You are going to die 9 times without dying for killing my father. He died the next day. We gathered to bury him. He woke up and said, I was called to name everybody I have killed. And then the fourth day, the elders asked him, are you afraid to die? He said, no. This woman is carrying juju that was not made on earth. If you know my place where I come from, our village, our compound was feared by everybody. This man could chew a bottle and swallow the bottle. He could kill, argue with him in the morning, by evening we are planning how to bury you. But that day, he could not function again. When he died finally, they were afraid to touch the corpse. I asked the elders, can I help cover him?
So I can tell you of a certain, you don't need to agree with me, I can tell you of a certain that Reverend Dr. Moba is not in heaven.
You remember when I was in Onitsha in 1990, a young man was busy collecting offering and going home with the money. I confronted him. He asked me, what will you do? I said, what I would do is that you will die this night. In his attempt to run away from me, he ran into a building iron. And the iron cut open his stomach and he dropped and died. The elders came and said to him, please beg God not to cause trouble. Can you shut up your mouth, because there are 2 more people that must die this night. A young man in our lives saw me walk into their village. He said to me, the last time you were here, my father repented. A native doctor, he became a preacher, now we are poor. You will not preach here again except I die. Father, you have heard his prayer. Can you please honor and answer his prayer that we may do what brought us to this place? He dropped and died. The brother grabbed me to beat me and stepped backward and stripped himself naked and later collapsed.
Because if he is in heaven, Joshua Selman will not be saying good things about him. All this what they calling this man, John C. Suleiman, of all people. John C. Suleiman is speaking good of Reverend Dr. Moba. He keeps a question mark on that man.
6 years ago, a prophetess walked into my office and she said, the leader of our church wants you to come to our church and fast for 7 days or else you will die. I will die? She said, yes. Madam, now that your church leader wants a dead man, you will take my place. I have no business with premature death. You'll die in 7 days' time. You'll die on a bridge. I won't give you the name of the bridge. You die on your way from your daughter's school. She said, but I came to help you. Madam, I'm helping you. 7 days after, she died.
Now, I was telling people on the other episode that this Reverend Dr. Moba that everybody is hailing and calling a true man of God is not really a true man of God.
Oh my God, oh my God. Why? Why would anyone do this? Why?
My brother from the same father with me took me to Umuahia court and told the court that I was no longer their brother. The judge asked, which woman are we talking? He said, this woman you know. I don't want to die now. Take the case to where he was born, Ohafia. We went to Ohafia. The judge there said, since I got married 3 months ago, I've not enjoyed my marriage. I don't want to die now. Take the case to Aruchukwu. They took the case to Aruchukwu. The judge there said, since I came, I have not unpacked my briefcase. So I can't start my job here with this type of case. Take it to another place. They took it to a native doctor's shrine. On their way out, the leader died. They said I gave a cow for the leader to be killed. I told them I had no argument, I had nothing to say. The next morning, the native doctor they went to see died also. I now asked them, who brought the cow that killed the native doctor? But surprisingly, 6 days after, the native doctor's boys were having their lunch. They did not know the lunch was poisoned. 6 of them all died. There are people who are not ordinary human beings.
The death of Reverend Dr. Ukpai has thrown the internet into serious confusion. While some people are mourning and celebrating his great impact, others have come out boldly to accuse him of strange things. Among the loudest voice online is a lady who swore never to celebrate him, whether alive or dead. Based on what she claimed to have observed about him, the world has refused to see.
When a pastor said to God, Omar has come to destroy your church, kill him, or he will kill the church. I said to the senior pastor, you don't have to pay to pray. So can I have the microphone to pray myself? They gave me the microphone and I said, Father, here are 2 people who are contesting the goodness of your church. If I am the guilty one, can I die tonight? If it is this pastor, let him die tomorrow while sitting on a half field. The next morning he died. I'm not saying you should tell people I killed him. He died, that's all. Of myself, I want to die. Hey, can you shut up your mouth? If you can look forward, you are going to see that in 7 years' time, you, this poor man, will become the 7th richest man in Nigeria. 7 years after my phone rang, he said God asked him to give me, that he had become the 7th richest man in Nigeria, and God asked him to give me. How much was it, Pastor Joe?
13 billion.
13 billion. And I said to the 3 brothers, I use spoken word to declare your sister barren. I'll use the same spoken word this night to kill 3 of you. So when I come to your church, don't provoke me to anger. 2 of you, don't do it again. It could cost you your life. My wife says to me, whenever you are angry, don't say anything.